when you come to work, you wear a mask.
Have you implemented any systems or found anything that has truly like revolutionised what you're doing?
I don't really care about AI, I care about what it can do. It's about installing your own brain into your own AI.
Luke, you work for Roost, one of our teams here at Mill Street, and
Yep.
you are head of marketing.
Yes.
So, for somebody that doesn't know who Roost are, what do you guys do? Everything.
So essentially, Roost is business accommodation that's managed for the client. And the client that we typically work with is anything from large construction to civil engineering up and down the UK that have contractors or workers that are working far away from home, and they want to up the welfare standards and quality of living for those on long-term projects.
Everyone knows Roost and has relationships with you guys at Roost, which is so important to obviously what we stand for at Mill Street. Is there like a bit of a secret to that, or is it just so natural for you all?
A bit of background on me, I've mostly worked from home or hybrid for a good period of time, like 6 years, and since I've come into Mill Street, I mean, yes, I am a 5-minute walk away, but I haven't worked from home once, which is interesting. I'm sure, the opportunities will arise and stuff, but I enjoy coming in. And coming in every day, people start naturally gravitating towards you, I think, because you're like, there's a familiar face.
So what is your reason for coming in every day? Like, if you don't have to, what is it that about either Mill Street or being around people that makes you want to come in every day?
So I never had the opportunity of going to university when I was younger. So for me, this is like university, but with workers, which is an interesting one. And I think I've shared this with a few people, members in the team. When you go to an office space, and I've worked in many different office spaces, some small in the middle of nowhere, some large corporate offices and stuff. When you come to work, you wear a mask a lot more because of the team, because of the hierarchy that's in a lot of these organizations where it's just that one company, whereas with one Mill Street, everyone's coming off their own back. They have no one to impress, so therefore they're coming up their most authentic self, really.
That is a lovely way to...
That's how I would describe it.
When I first heard of Roost, and I think it actually happened to you once on the app, and Kimia got in touch with you because she thought you were an estate agent.
Yeah.
So do you get like those kind of misconceptions about Roost often?
I guess if you are not of the industry and you're looking at it from the outside in, it's I would say, very easy to get confused. We're an accommodation business, but essentially we're the managed service aspect. Where people really rely on us is like multi-projects with complexity,
right?
That are rural, long-term based projects. So if you imagine you've got a site team of 30 people, 60 people, and a staggered start date, so the headcount increases. The locations are rural, so the supply for accommodation is massively reduced. And you've got usually that one person in the office, usually the office admin or the project director, that then has to find accommodation for all those people, and they'll be on all the different direct-to-consumer sites like Booking, Airbnb as an example, and they're great tools for holidays, for short-term, some corporate stay and stuff. But when you're dealing with 6-month projects where you need a good standard of living, someone to manage that and take it off your low case, essentially, they're dealing with us, which is a one-stop shop.
Have you implemented any systems or found anything that has truly like revolutionised what you're doing?
One of the challenges is we are private investigators when it comes to accommodation, trying to seek out those hard to find opportunities. And if you imagine you've got parallel concurrent opportunities where you've got multiple different projects to look for several different accommodation options, doing that on one person can be a challenge. So I created something whereby it uses AI to search for accommodation options across a particular postcode within a certain radius. It also finds all the amenities that are important to them, and it puts it in a nice little bow in a nice presentation and sends it off to them. Something like that would have taken like hours, days maybe, and I would say the level of quality and finesse that it does, that a human being probably not so much be bothered, just doing the basics would have taken a long time. but we have found a way in which we can own our own voice, but being able to scale it.
Yeah.
Still needs a human person involved in on it, but also what lands best for different platforms. And it's taken all that thinking and then put it into a system where someone is then creating content off the back of that. So I have someone that looks after that. So when I go to review it, my review time's a lot less because I already know it's gone through our system, right?
Yeah.
So it's more a case of cutting it back or changing some bits. But if I say to them, this isn't quite the right thing, they're not going to go, I've just spent 2 hours on that. They've spent like 5-10 minutes because of the front loaded work.
Yeah.
You know, but some of these systems can take weeks to months to create.
Yeah.
Some of them days. But once you've got them and they're a constantly continuous, there's a lot of continuous improvement going on in there. So just because you've got it created, you may need to look at it every quarter and go, is this still working for us, as an example? I don't really care about AI. I care about what it can do. And I think with AI specifically, it's trending massively at the moment. I think everyone's looking for the latest tool, the latest prompt or to solve their problems. But actually, it's about installing your own brain into your own AI, or installing brains that you trust.
And you're not just doing that, because on the side, you're hitting the decks.
Yes.
You're playing music. You're living your life.
Been in the music industry as a side hustle pretty much since I was about 14, 15. And that kind of stemmed from, I had a small career in acting before that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, when I was very young. Yeah, when I was very young.
Musical theatre.
Yeah, musical theatre. Yeah,
Love
not on
it.
TV. Yeah, so naturally that went into music, and I essentially learned how to play vinyl at a young age, DJing and stuff. And I did that for quite a period of time. Did pretty well on that. Played in lots of different countries, such as obviously Ibiza, Spain, Moscow, Russia, Poland, and I'm up and down the UK every weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then it got to a particular point where I put a pause on that because, you know, it takes a lot out of you, taxing and stuff like that. And then I came back to it probably, how long, about 4 years ago. And I started building everything that I knew and everything like that. And yeah, it's gone really well, and it's who knows where it goes, where it will go, but it's definitely been an itch I've been looking to scratch for a long time, and I feel like I've done that now. So I'm looking forward to seeing like where it's gonna go over the next couple of years. There is an indigenous tribe in the Amazon that I have had the experience of meeting many times. They've come over to the UK. And I've been invited to go and play in the jungle, which is pretty much in the heart of the Amazon. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's happening around middle of October, which is funnily enough around my my year anniversary with Roost.
Is there any kind of advice that you could give to any businesses that listen to PodFast? Like a quick fix or a quick solution that they can implement into their business?
I would say whoever is the one that's paying the bills in the business or paying salaries, and they are thinking about how they can grow rather than hiring more people or doing more things, look at how you can save time, because ultimately your business survives and thrives off the back of the systems that you create. I'm a firm believer in that. Rather than spending 10,000 to exhibit at a conference or whatever, take a look at all the things that the business does or you do as a business owner, and then have an open dialogue with AI. Tell it what you're trying to do and what the problems are, and then off the back of that, you can then come up with solutions off the back of that.
Amazing. That's great advice that I will take on board as well. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
You're welcome.
And yeah, we will see you around every day.
Yes.
Every single day.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.